Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Wisdom Day with Dr. Anil Bajpai. I must introduce myself again. I am the COO of the Prestige Education Foundation at Indore. What are we going to talk today? We're going to have a little chat with some people around here and we're going to discuss two things: traditions and what are skills. Skills. Everyone talks about skills in different ways. Let me give you a little story. The story is about when I was a student. I was a student and the date was 23rd of June 1981. That's precisely 40 years ago and a little more. And the gentleman who was addressing me or addressing us was the late Dr. Ravi Mathai, the director of the Indian Institute of Management at Ahmedabad. And what did he say? He said, if you were to hire somebody, what would you look for? Attitude or skill? And we were confused. He gave the answer ultimately, and he said, you can teach anybody skills, but you can't teach attitudes. So at that time I learned attitudes are important. And then in the year 2017, which is very recent, we heard our Prime Minister talk about Skill India, and I was utterly confused. Here we were talking about attitude, all this while, 38 years of my existence in the corporate world, and suddenly I have to look at skills. Anyways, these things will keep on changing with life. We have to have both. We have to have attitudes and we have to have skills. Positive attitude and good skill. What is skill? Many of you are teachers, some of you are students, and you are all going through programs which are called personality development. And in the personality development, what is it that you are learning? You are learning soft skills. Now pray, what is soft about this skill? You touch it and feel it and it feels soft? What is a soft skill? May I ask you? What is a soft skill, Shan?
Soft skills are what you basically, it's required basically everywhere. So basic learnings of these skills are provided to the students. From the elementary to when they go to college.
So, Shan tells me here that soft skills are those things that you need almost throughout your life. She's right and she's not right. She's right that yes, you do require it all the time. But where she's not right is what is soft about the skill. Well, you may go to a college, you may learn accounting. That's hard skill. You may go to a college, you learn marketing. That's hard skill. But who will teach you how to deal with people? Who will teach you how to respect? Who will teach you how to care? Who will teach you how to be a mother? Who will teach you how to be a father? Who will teach you how to love? No school. Believe me, there is no school in this world which will teach you all this. And these are the soft skills we are talking about. What the Honorable Prime Minister talked about was some hard skills. Carpentry, stitching, electrician. Those are hard skills which would help people get a job or earn their livelihood. What we're talking about now and what I'm talking about now are things which would make you succeed in whatever you do, if you have these soft skills. And what are these soft skills? Very traditional. In India, we've always respected our elders. And we have shown respect in multiple ways. Like, for instance, touching feet of elders. Like, for instance, covering your head when you are in front of elders. And that's more for ladies than for gentlemen. And if you enter a place of worship, you take off your footwear. What is all this? Somebody would say this is all humbug. The Western world doesn't do all this, and yet it succeeds. So why is it that we do this, and what is the scientific reason, or what are the benefits of such a skill? Slowly and slowly, we're losing that skill. No longer do young people touch the feet of their elders. No longer do women cover their head in front of their in-laws and elders. No longer do we even enter a place of worship, let alone take your footwear off. We're losing that. But why was it required in the first place? It's not to show respect alone. Whenever you bend or bow before somebody, the other is bound to bless you. And that blessing carries with it not just a few words, but it carries a lifetime of good wishes. It carries a world of goodness. It carries with it something that you cannot buy with money. And that's what is soft about this skill. It can't be touched, it can't be felt, it can't be bought, it can't be sold. But it's a skill that you will acquire. Similarly, politeness. How do you communicate? Those are little skills, the skills of communication. You cannot purchase communication. You cannot purchase softness, but you need it. So these are the skills which are not going to be taught anywhere, which are not going to be learned from in school, but we're going to experience that. And this is something that's a challenge before all teachers of today, and today being the Guru Purnima day, it's even more important that we learn and respect and bow before our teachers. 3 of my teachers from school, 1972. It's almost a lifetime ago. And do you know what? There was this lady, Mrs. Madhu Suri, who was Kapoor at that time. And I wrote to her. I sent her an image saying that, Happy Guru Purnima to you. And you know what she said? I am so lucky to have such children. And she referred to me as a child. And what did I do? I wrote back and said, yes, ma'am, we are good. I'm only a 62-year-old child. So that is life. This is the soft skill we are talking of. This is the relationship between student and teacher that needs to be cultured, inculcated, developed, and grown to an extent where you will actually start living it. And once you do that, believe me, there is no looking back. And now, of course, I will leave the house open for people to comment and ask questions if any. Thank you.
So I have a son, he's 7, and I touch the feet of my elders, my parents, all the elders who are around me. But the moment I want to pass on this lesson to my child, he refrains from doing it. For them, the hello and how are you culture is very acceptable than to bend down and touch the feet. So what are your...
I can empathize with that 7-year-old.
Yeah.
I have been through the same stage. I once had a major argument with a grand uncle of mine. And the argument was, he insisted that I touch everybody's feet around there. And I said, why should I? Just like your son. And then he said, no, you will get blessings in whatever, the logic he gave me. My response was very simple. Those who matter will not mind, and those who mind do not matter to me. Today, almost 55 years later, I realize that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who minds. It doesn't mind, and it won't mind whoever matters. The point is, this is a tradition we must keep alive. Why? Because this is the only thing Indian about me. After having traveled across the world, I realize that we are just becoming clones of some Western world. Let us retain our Indianness. So, my answer to your query would be, tell that 7-year-old boy that, beta, it doesn't matter. After all, what are you going to do? You're not losing anything. You're just bending before somebody. And when you bend before somebody, that somebody will bless you, will give you good wishes. And this is the only way you will know that you are an Indian. Please don't lose that. This is your identity. Look at the Japanese. They don't get even tired bending with each other. Look at the Chinese. They have their different ways. There are some people who rub noses. There are another. Every rubbing of cheeks amongst the white British.
Let's do that.
So this is our way of greeting. So tell your son, this is Indian, and let's retain the Indianness. Anyone else?
I agree to what you say, but sometimes it is seen that when we follow such traditions, people of the new generation try to behave awkwardly with us, like they believe this is an old school girl.
Yes, they believe that, whoa, where are you coming from? What kind of a person are you? You don't fit into my set of people. You are not belonging where we are. I used to smoke. And how did I start to smoke? Because I wanted to belong to a group. I wanted to belong to a group, so I picked up a cigarette and started to smoke. And when I realized that this is useless stuff, I was addicted. I couldn't give it up. It took me 38 years to give up cigarettes. Yes, for the last 10 years, 8 to 10 years, I have not smoked. I have successfully given up. So, did I move away from that in-set to an out-set? No, I realized that was hogwash. That was my belief that these youngsters are excluding me. No, it's not so. Every individual has an individuality. Live with your own individuality. Live with yourself. Don't try to please the rest of the world, because you can't. Make yourself happy. Chances are that the entire world will become happy. So, friends, we bring to an end this edition of the Wisdom Day, where we discussed and chatted about a little bit in the area of tradition and skills. Thank you very much.